Chinese Super League's highest-paid players and where they have ended up now. The Chinese Super League is infamous for paying out extortionate wages in order to entice big-name stars to move to the division. A host of big names have snubbed moves to European leagues in order to take a huge payday in China. But their fortunes after making that decision have varied, with some disappearing into irrelevance and others returning to Europe with a bang. There has been a drop-off in big money moves to China in recent years, but some of the wages that were handed out in recent years are eye-watering. Here, Daily Star Sport takes a look at where the top 10 Chinese Super League earners are now, having failed to earn a place in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plans. Marouane Fellaini opted to move to Shandong Luneng in January 2019. The Belgian was handed an astonishing wage of £205,000 per week by the Chinese side. He has become a regular starter for Shandong, unsurprising given his massive wages, and has also frequently captained the club. He was skipper as they won the Chinese FA Cup in January, having featured heavily as they won the Chinese Super League last year. The midfielder's contract still has 3 years left to run, which will take him to the age of 37. He will be part of Hao Wei's squad once again when the new Chinese Super League season kicks off in 10 days' time. Former Italy international leader is perhaps a surprising name to see on this list, given his only major club has been Inter Milan. But he earned a massive wage during his time at Jiangsu Suning, being paid £213,000 a week. While he had only scored 12 goals in 72 Serie A for Inter, Eder proved to be a hit in China. He scored 32 times across his 2 campaigns, helping Jiangsu to win the Super League title in 2020. A year later, he moved on from his big payday, joining Brazilian giant São Paulo last March. He has scored just twice in his 20 games so far this season, though continues to be a regular starter despite that poor return. A look at Paulinho's list of clubs shows that the Brazilian has enjoyed a remarkable career, with 2 spells in China, a move to Tottenham and 2 years at Barcelona. His first foray into Asia came in 2015 when he left Spurs for Guangzhou Evergrande. He helped Guangzhou to win 2 successive Super League titles while earning £230,000 per week before completing a shock move to Barca. After 2 years with the Catalan Giants, he returned to Guangzhou, again winning the Super League. He was released from his contract last June as a result of the continuing effects of the coronavirus pandemic. That September he joined Al Ahly before leaving the Saudi side for Corinthians, where he recently ruptured the ACL in his left knee. Which player were you most disappointed to see move to the Chinese Super League? Let us know in the comments section. At one point, Stefan El Shaarawy was viewed as being the next wonderkid of Italian football. Unfortunately, he has never been truly able to realize his potential, despite spells at Roma, Monaco and AC Milan. In the summer transfer window of 2019, he was allowed to join Shanghai Shenhua for £13.7 million from Roma. He spent 18 months in China, winning the FA Cup in his debut season, having scored 4 goals in 19 games. He returned to Roma in the 2021 January transfer window on a free transfer and has been a key player under José Mourinho this term. Though he has endured an injury-hit campaign, he has scored 7 goals in 33 appearances to help them reach the semi-finals of the Europa Conference League. Graziano Pelle had developed a reputation for being one of the Premier League's deadliest strikers during a 2-year spell at Southampton. But he made the shock decision to leave St Mary's for Shandong Luneng in 2016 for a weekly wage of £263,000. He continued his stunning scoring form at the Jinan Olympic Sports Centre Stadium, registering 63 goals in 133 appearances. That included firing Shandong to the Chinese FA Cup in 2020. He left China in February 2021 to join Serie A side Parma on a 6-month deal. But after scoring just once in 13 games for I Crociati, Pelle was released and remains without a club more than 6 months later. One of the most iconic footballers of the 2010s, Hulk made an Asian record move to Shanghai in 2016. The Chinese side paid Zenit St. Petersburg a fee of £45 million in exchange for the striker, who was handed a wage of £320,000 per week. He spent more than 4 years with Shanghai, scoring 77 goals in 145 appearances in all competitions. His strikes helped them to win the Chinese Super League in 2018, before he departed on a free transfer in 2021. After leaving Shanghai, Hulk returned to his native Brazil to join Atlético Mineiro. He has won 5 trophies already for Mineiro, scoring 49 goals in the process, and has another 2 years to run on his contract. It is arguably a huge surprise to see Cedric Bakambu in the top 5 highest earners from the Chinese Super League. He joined Beijing Guoan in 2018 from Villarreal, picking up a wage of £341,000 a week. He had an impressive record in China, scoring 58 goals in 87 appearances in all competitions. That helped Beijing to win the Chinese FA Cup in 2018, the only major trophy he was won in his career. After 4 years in the Chinese capital, Bakambu returned to Europe to join Marseille on a free transfer in January. He has forced his way into Jorge Sampaoli's team, though has only registered 3 goals in 18 games. The poster boy of the Chinese Super League is undoubtedly Oscar, who joined Shanghai from Chelsea in 2016. That move cost Shanghai a £60 million fee, as well as £500,000 per week in wages to the Brazilian. The Brazilian has become the club's captain, having spent 6 years in Asia, and remains the league's best player. He helped them to win the Chinese Super League in 2018, though that remains his only major trophy since leaving Stamford Bridge. Many felt that Oscar had wasted his career by moving to China, though the wages were too good to turn down. He is preparing for his 6th season for Shanghai, who finished second last campaign. One of the cult heroes of the Premier League, Carlos Tevez, endured a 7-month spell in China for Shanghai Shenhua. The Argentine had spent a season at boyhood club Boca Juniors when he moved to China for what he described as a holiday. He was frequently criticized by his manager at Shanghai and scored just 4 goals, despite being paid more than £600,000 a week. Having failed to adapt to life in China, he returned to Boca in 2018. He won 2 successive Primera Division titles in his 3rd spell at La Bombonera. But he departed last summer, admitting he was no longer capable of playing for the club. Though he has not officially announced his retirement, he is yet to find a new club. After a 4-year spell at Paris Saint-Germain, Ezequiel Lavezzi joined Hebei China Fortune in 2016. Fortune being the name of his club in the Chinese Super League is ironic, considering he took home a staggering wage of £798,000 per week. Despite that massive outlay, Lavezzi was unable to lead Hebei to any trophies during his 4 years at the club. Shortly after scoring in a November 2019 defeat to Guangzhou Evergrande, Lavezzi announced his retirement from playing.